but rest and recovery is an equally essential component of an exercise program because it gives your body time to repair, rebuild, and strengthen itself between workouts. So I'm sure all of you know it's really you take a rest day if you're working out every day of the week, or if you're doing really intense sports all the time, it's important that you're taking time to stretch and relax and rest your body, rest your mind, rest your soul, so that you can keep going and keep performing well and keep enjoying it. All right, so we're gonna open with a discussion. I do want you guys to answer this if you would like to, but the question is, what does resting look like for you?
Resting look like for me is doing a lot of workouts every day and exercises and walking.
That's what resting looks like for you?
Oh yeah.
Do you ever take time off of those things?
Yes, I did take time off of those things anyways.
Okay, well, let me rephrase the question for you then. On the days that you're not working out, what do you do?
The days I'm not working out is just chilling and and read book.
Reading a book and chilling?
Yeah.
That's a great answer. Good.
Yes. Mhm.
You want to take time to not do workouts sometimes and give your body time to relax. So chilling and reading a book is a great way to do that.
Oh yeah. Mhm.
Kyle, recovering your injuries. Yeah. Kyle, is there anything that you like to do on your day off from sports or exercise? Like, what do you do to recover your injuries?
Recovering my injuries, do some other exercises
Oh, okay. Like what?
like karate.
You do karate on your day off?
Yeah,
Do your karate exercises include stretching?
yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah. So stretching is a good way to rest. Um, Resting doesn't always mean that you're sleeping. It just can mean that you're not necessarily participating in a exercise or a sports practice. Like active rest could be doing yoga or stretching. So we'll get into that a little more in detail later, but let's go ahead and continue. All right, so what is meant by rest and recovery and why is it important? So, rest and recovery might look different for everyone, as we've just discovered. Rest looks different for all of you, but there's one general principle that applies to all athletes. So, if you are participating in sports, you're breaking down your body. You are, I can't see what that says. You're taxing yourself and pushing yourself beyond your current level of fitness. So, let's see. What's happening when you're exercising is that your muscles, they get these tiny tears over time, and you want to give them time to heal and come back together and strengthen your muscles. But this doesn't happen while you're exercising. It happens while you're resting. So it's important that while you have all of this time to exercise, that you have all of this time to rest too, so that your muscles can recover. So at night when you're sleeping, or those days when you're relaxing and reading, or you're stretching, that's when your muscles are recovering. So not when you're exercising. Um, let's see. In order to see gains in fitness, and to keep doing what you want to do, you have to give yourself time to rest so that your body can repair itself. If you are an athlete, this means taking time out from your usual sport. So this could look like if you exercise or train Monday through Saturday, that you just take Sunday off. All right, so we're going to break down the difference between short-term recovery and long-term recovery. So, short-term recovery or active recovery occurs in the hours right after you. So this is why we like to do a cool down. So after your sports, after you go for a run, we stretch while our muscles are still warm. Um, think of short-term recovery as what you are doing the same exact day. So specifically your cool down. And then I've got a question for you here. It says, If you go out for a 6-mile run in the morning, what should you do afterwards to make sure that your body and mind can recover from that exercise? Does anyone know?
After exercises, I do cool down stretches.
Awesome. Do you have any particular cool down stretches that you like to do, Gilbert?
Um, cool down stretches go like this.
Okay. Tricep stretch. I like it.
Tricep stretch and like this and like this too.
Yeah, great job. Thank you for sharing. That's a really good example of a cool down exercise.
Oh yeah.
And
Mhm.
then let's see, after exercise, think good, happy thoughts.
Yeah.
Yes,
Think
I
good,
agree.
happy thoughts.
I agree with you, Kyle. And when you exercise, your body releases endorphins, so it makes you happy anyways. So, yes. Okay, so that is short-term recovery, is doing our cool down after we work out. Then we're going to talk about long-term recovery. So long-term recovery involves rest and recovery periods that are built into a seasonal training schedule. It may include days or weeks of rest incorporated into your program. It's essential to give your body enough time spent not training to replenish your energy stores and so that your muscles can recover. So the question here is, if you spend months training for or playing a sport, an example could be if you're training half a year to run a marathon and then you run a marathon, what do you think that you should do after you run a marathon and you spend all of that time training very intensely? What do you think that you should do?
Oh, I know. Drink plenty of water.
Yes, drinking plenty of water is very important. Good answer. So, something else that you should do after you spend a very long period of time training intensely is to take a longer amount of time off. So, earlier we talked about how if you work out Monday through Saturday, then you should take Sunday off to rest. And the long-term recovery just means if you spend 6 months training for a marathon, you're running every single day, you're breaking down your muscles, wearing your body out, then you should take a few weeks off of that particular exercise. So you want to take a break from all of that running just for a few weeks to give your body time to recover before you start running again. So long-term recovery, just think like a few weeks versus our short-term recovery, which is right after our exercise, what are we doing to recover our body? Or during the week, are we taking that day off to give our body time to repair itself? And then at the bottom, the duration of a recovery period depends on factors such as your age, sport, and training regimen. So someone who runs a marathon, they might need to take several weeks off to give their legs a break from all of that running. But someone who maybe does like karate or basketball or soccer, like a different sport, you might not need as much time off to recover. So it's very individualized. It depends on who you are, how old you are, what shape you're in, and what sport you're participating in. All right, moving on. So I have another question for you guys. Feel free to type your answer in the chat or unmute yourself and tell me what you think. But what do you think will happen if you do not take time to rest or recover?
It's pushing myself too hard and getting my legs and knees sore really sometimes more often.
Yes, that's a great answer. Kyle also said the same thing, pushing yourself too hard. Yes. So when we push ourselves too hard, it can compromise our performance and it may lead to chronic muscle soreness or pain. So you see this guy here with his knee pain. He probably trained way too hard for way too long and didn't take any rest days. He didn't give his body time to recover. So it's really important that you're resting so that you don't get injured. And if you do get injured, you want to make sure you're giving your body an adequate amount of time to repair itself and heal. All right, moving on. So this is a recommendation from the American Council of Exercise, and they say athletes who engage in high intensity exercise should schedule a rest day every 7 to 10 days. But that's not a rule that you have to follow. Again, this is different for everyone. Some people may need more and some people may need less. So again, if you're training every single day of the week, making sure that you have one day that you're at least resting and recovering is really important. All right. On a long-term scale, and we just talked about long-term recovery, rest and recovery is important for injury prevention. So I know Kyle already mentioned injury prevention. These include acute injuries that occur in people who are fatigued and deconditioned, especially those who play basketball or soccer. They also include overuse injuries, such as chronic soft tissue injury, chronic tendon injury, and bone stress injury. Timing your rest and recovery is also going to help prevent what we call overtraining syndrome, which is basically a state where your whole body cannot keep up with what you're asking it to do. So again, you want to make sure that you're not overtraining your body. You're not pushing yourself too hard, working yourself so hard that you get injured or that you get burnt out. And let's see, overtraining syndrome. So these are some signs and symptoms that you are overtraining yourself. Studies suggest that overtraining syndrome affects roughly 60% of elite athletes and 30% of non-elite endurance athletes. The ill effects of overtraining syndrome include increased body fat, a higher risk of dehydration, lower libido, and mood disturbances. Once overtraining syndrome sets in, it can be difficult to reverse. So this is a quote from a doctor, and she says, people who overtrain often have trouble with performance. Maybe they're getting a lot more fatigued from sports activities that used to be easy for them, and they may even be getting more tired in their regular lives outside of sports. They may be dealing with mental burnout or a lack of interest in a sport that they used to enjoy. So a sign of overtraining syndrome could be that you are just not enjoying the sport anymore. You're feeling very overworked. You're not feeling as excited about it. You're feeling very tired throughout the day. You don't have enough energy to keep up with your training routine. And that is a sign that you should probably take some time to rest and recover. Okay, this is another question for you, so you can put it in the chat or unmute yourself. But the question is, what are the signs that athletes need a rest day immediately? So what might you be experiencing that is a sign that you should stop and you should rest?
What are the signs that athletes need a rest day as in immediately is by resting my knee to make it feel better. And rest day is by lying down and reading books and eat banana.
Okay, so you mentioned maybe like your knee is hurting, and that could be a sign that you need to rest immediately.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and resting by reading a book and laying down and eating a banana, those are all great ways to help your body. So good job.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Oh, thank you.
Kyle, resting your head. If you have head injuries, yeah, so maybe head injury could be like a headache, or if you got hit in the head during soccer and you're feeling a little dizzy or feeling a little confused, yes, that would be something that you immediately need to rest and recover from. So great job. All right, let's see what it says. So these are also just some other signs in addition to what you both mentioned. General fatigue, unexplained decrease in performance. So if you're not playing your sport as well, you're just not feeling like your best when you're out there performing, it's probably because you are overtrained. Other indicators of overdue rest and recovery, sleeplessness, poor appetite, increased illness, and feelings of stress and depression. So as you can see, not resting can lead to a lot of really uncomfortable symptoms. This isn't may notice that their sport takes more effort. Their perceived exertion is a lot higher. Some people may even notice an increase in their resting or exertional heart rate. When we see these later signs of overtraining, it not only means that we need to make sure that they're taking a few weeks of rest a few times a year, actually need to take even longer to catch up on some of their recovery. So it's important to know that if you have signs or symptoms of serious overtraining, to your body and you give yourself adequate time to rest and recover so that you can return to your sport and you can perform at your best. All right, so we're going to talk a little bit about passive versus active recovery. So on the left, we see this lady here laying in the grass. We're just going to pretend that this is Gilbert and he's laying in the grass, reading his book, eating his banana. He's not doing anything. He's just chillaxing, and that's really important. So making sure that you take time to do nothing so that you give your body and your mind time to recover from everything that's going on in the world, not just exercise. It's good to schedule 1 day per week for this, just like I mentioned earlier, a Sunday. Sundays are good for rest. And then we have active recovery. So this is rest from your sports training, but where you're staying active. So when Kyle said that he goes to karate on his days off and he does stretching, that's a really good example of active recovery. So another low intensity movement that's different from what you're training all the time. So yoga, stretching, low intensity swimming or walking are good examples of this. So you're staying active, but you're also giving your body time to recover from the other activity that your muscles are used to training every day. Okay, so and how important sleep is. So I think we've done a presentation on sleep before already, and we know that it is very important to sleep. Your muscle repair and growth, again, it occurs while you're sleeping, not while you're exercising. So if not, your body's not repairing itself. And it's really important to make sure that you're doing that, and not only sleeping, but making sure you're getting enough sleep and that you're getting quality sleep. Because sleep deprivation in athletes is linked with decreased endurance. It's associated with adverse changes in your hormones, including higher levels of stress, and lower levels of the human growth hormone. So you might feel a lot more stressed out. You might not be getting stronger muscles because you're not producing that growth hormone. And when sleep deprivation results in fatigue, low energy, and poor focus, it can increase the risk of serious injury. So sleep is super important. Athletes need enough sleep and quality sleep. So sleep hygiene, again, super important. Not being on your phone at night right before you go to bed, because that blue light can keep your brain awake and prevent you from falling asleep. Not doing work or watching TV in bed. Establishing good habits and routines that prepare your mind and your body for sleep. Let's see. Do you guys have any sleep habits or any routines that you practice at night that help you go to sleep?
Yeah, I practice sleeping routine is brush teeth before going to sleep and make sure cell phones and computers and television and game systems are off.
That's awesome. It's
Yeah,
great. Yeah,
and
making sure your gaming system is turned off so that it's not keeping your brain going all night, or the light's not keeping you awake.
oh yeah, so go to sleep on time early.
Yeah. Go to sleep and wake up on time. You don't want to oversleep or undersleep.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Good job. Oh, we've got a chat. Bedtime business. Kyle, what do you mean by bedtime business? What's that mean to you?
Brushing teeth, floss, toilet.
Good. Brushing your teeth, flossing your teeth, going to the bathroom, making sure your body's ready to go to sleep.
Mm.
Good. Great job. All right. So I think this might be our last discussion question, but I just want you to think about it. And the question is, what are the benefits of optimal rest and recovery? So why is it good for you to make sure that you're getting your R&R?
Go to sleep on time is important,
It
and
is
then wake
important,
up on time and no oversleep.
sleeping. So why do you think that it's important that you're getting enough sleep?
Because I have to restore. It's because I have to make my body feel good and make my mind
Yeah,
really good.
Yeah, make your body and mind feel good. Restore. I heard you say restore, restoring your muscles,
and
letting
restoring
them
my
grow,
muscles and let them grow and make my knees better.
make your knees better. Yeah. See what the answer is. Your answers were great, but here's a little bit more. Um, Getting optimal rest and recovery can improve your athletic performance, strength and endurance gains, and the ability to keep doing what we enjoy doing. So, making sure that we're not getting burnt out, that we are taking time to rest from what we're doing. That way, our muscles can repair themselves, we can get stronger, we can become better athletes. And exercise is medicine. I'm sure you've heard that before, but only if we're doing it in a healthy way, which includes rest and recovery. So, making sure that while we have an amazing exercise routine, we're playing our sports all the time, that we are also taking time to rest. All right, this was our reference for a lot of our information today. And this will be uploaded to YouTube if you want to watch it again. And then lastly, our dance party is going to be this Friday, January 26th at 4 p.m. And I hope to see you all there.